5th hour, 6th hour, 7th hour, 8th hour, 9th hour. So, can you see the screen?
Oh, yeah.
Darkness. Jesus was crucified on the 3rd hour. He was crucified. And then darkness came 6th hour to 9th hour. So 3 hours. Jesus was on the cross total 6 hours, but last 3 hours, whole land was covered with darkness. So this is 3 hours. Last 3 hours, it was so dark. The place was covered with darkness. It was cross. 3 hours. So, is this a natural phenomenon or supernatural?
Supernatural.
Why?
Daytime normally it should be bright.
Noon.
Mm-hmm.
Noon to
3 p.m.
is bright. Is
So it should be sunny and bright, right?
Mm.
But it was. But could it be a solar eclipse?
It's possible. It could not that long.
Solar eclipse can last from few seconds, few hours. Uh-huh. But like usually 30 minutes, 1 hour like that. But it can go. So even some commentary book said it is solar eclipse.
But cannot be 3
And then
hours.
some scientists with the computer that calculate, and they said, at the time of Jesus' crucifixion, there was solar eclipse. So if it is a solar eclipse, it is natural phenomenon. It is not, it's supernatural. So what do you think?
Either natural or supernatural, it got planned to have.
Yeah. Either way, God planned, God gave darkness, but some people don't believe it. Don't believe it. They said it was natural phenomena. It was solar eclipse. So then they don't consider it into the work of God. So this is, my opinion, is supernatural because it is what solar eclipse. It can happen only during new moon. Only during new moon. So Earth is here, moon is here, sun is here, so that people see from here, and the moon is shaded. Moon is shaded, so that they don't see moon. So that they call new moon. When was the time when Jesus was crucified? Wasn't it Passover?
Yeah.
Passover? Passover is
April 14th.
14th,
Actually 13th.
14th of month of Aviv, or they call Nisan too. Either way, the month's name. But this is lunar calendar. This is always full moon. Always a full moon. So it cannot be a solar eclipse. So this is God's work. It is God. It was not natural phenomenon. It was God. God sent the darkness over Egypt during the Exodus, and then only Egypt was full of darkness, and then Goshen, the area for Israel, was sunlight, like that. So it was God. It was the supernatural, God's power. God covered the land with the thick darkness. What does it signify? What does the darkness signify?
Sadness, agony.
Yeah. Sadness, agony of Jesus' pain. What else? It is the
Painful.
pain. It was Jesus suffered the 6 hours, but last 3 hours was it just undescribably so painful. Pain of hell. Pain, extreme pain. What else?
Lost.
Yeah, darkness. Maybe you can see how Israel was in darkness. They didn't recognize the Son of God. So darkness, spiritual darkness. What else?
Disconnection with God.
Yeah. This is the time God poured His wrath on Jesus. So this was God poured His wrath. Really.
So even Jesus said, why have you forsaken me?
Uh-huh.
Like separation from God. Whole world is separate from God.
To me, the most the darkness is this is the darkest sin. The darkest sin. They crucified the Son of God. They crucified innocent Jesus. That's maybe the darkest sin. There are many sins, but rejecting Jesus, that's the darkest sin. So that was the truly time of darkness. Question 2.
Near his death, why did Jesus cry out?
What
What?
did Jesus cry out?
My
My God, why have you forsaken me?
Yeah. This was very, very close to Jesus' death. Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. Why, my God, why have you forsaken? Why have you abandoned me? So, what was Jesus feeling in his heart?
Abandoned.
He was abandoned. He was abandoned. Totally abandoned. What kind of pain did Jesus have when he cried out this? It's a
Physical, spiritual.
yeah. He had a pain in his heart. Have you ever been abandoned by boyfriend or girlfriend?
No, boyfriend.
Anyway, by husband or wife, the pain is really deep, aching. And Jesus' pain was he was abandoned by his father. Yeah, abandoned by father. So Jesus physically, he was, pain physically, but also he had a unbearable pain in his heart because father abandoned him. So he just put all his strength. He shouted, my God, why have you abandoned me?" As a human being, when abandoned by boyfriend or girlfriend, why did you betray me like that? So Jesus expressed unbearable pain. The father abandoned him. So when Jesus received the punishment for our sin, it was not like it's gonna be soon, it's gonna be over, so then you will have, not like that. It's truly, really punishment. Really. Jesus was really punished. Third question to third question.
Because of whom was Jesus abandoned by God? Me and for all human beings.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus and God, inseparable, eternity. But here, Jesus came into this world and abandoned by God. So I had to think about this one because, I never want to go anybody's relationship and split. That's a very evil thing. I never want to do that. And I always want to have their relationship improve and getting better. So intentionally, I never do that. But I realized that I did it. I separated it.
Yeah.
God and Jesus. Wow. It was so I did it. When was this pain prophesied? You can open Psalm chapter 22, verse 1. Chapter 22, verse 1. Did anybody find it?
No.
Yeah, what is it?
My God, why have you forsaken me?
Yeah. Is there any difference?
No.
See.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was prophesied that Messiah will suffer this suffering. And then, how long ago was it prophesied? Eh?
1,000.
Yeah, about 1,000 years before Jesus. It was written by David.
Yeah.
David. About 1,000 years before, David wrote it down that Messiah will suffer this. It's amazing. Can you tell anybody would say something after 1,000 years later? Okay, let's move to question 3.
What showed that some of the people under the cross were spiritually blind and deaf?
Can you read the verse 35?
When some of those standing near heard this, they said, "Listen, he's calling Elijah."
Yeah. Jesus said, my God, why have you abandoned me? It's so painful confession. But they said, look, he's calling Elijah. They heard something. And so they said, he's calling Elijah. They heard Jesus say, but they really didn't hear. Because they are dead. They don't have an ear to hear Jesus' words. Many people hear what Jesus says and said, but they interpret it in their own way so that they don't hear. Jesus said, my God, why you have forsaken me? But then they interpreted it. He's calling Elijah. Why are they blind?
They're not really blind, but they're spiritually blind.
Yeah, spiritually blind.
Because they don't listen to Jesus Christ. They just listen to their own story, own selfishness, own ego, own desire. And also they're interested in how can they be successful.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think if they could see, they couldn't kill Jesus.
Right. Yeah. Blind. They were there. They were there. They didn't see the glory of the cross. Darkness. In the middle of the day, it was very dark. And then there was earthquake. Mark didn't write earthquake, but there was earthquake. And then you see in darkness, earthquake. What can they see? What can they see? They didn't see anything. So even though they were there under the cross of Jesus, they were spiritually blind. They didn't hear, they didn't see. Question 4.
What compassion did one man show to die Jesus?
There's in the Gospel Mark, verse 36.
Yeah. And someone ran and filled a sponge with sour wine, put it on a reed, and gave it to him to drink.
Yeah. I mean, they were making fun of Jesus, ridicule Jesus. One man was different. He saw Jesus' agony, so he ran and soaked the wine vinegar and then put in Jesus' mouth. So he showed compassion to dying Jesus. Usually, when people gather together, make fun of somebody, and wow, and they all follow. But if you have your clear conscience, you have a pity on that person. I wrote it down, Matthew 25:35. This is the verse. When I'm thirsty, you gave me drink. This man did it. So after this, Jesus said two more words. It is finished. I give my spirit in thy hand. Some commentary books say after this drink, Jesus gained little bit strength to speak two more sentences. So he showed everybody ridiculed Jesus, but this man had a pity on, compassion on Jesus. So he offered his second drink. Question 5.
Can I have a question?
Yeah.
Like the fourth question, the compassion man. You know, in China, we used to learn the Bible in Chinese version, and we thought the man who gives the wine vinegar to Jesus was a bad man because he won't please Jesus. Because wine vinegar was not delicious. It's kind of like a little bit sour. A little bit sour. No, you know, Jesus was very, very painful, and he was blood, and after he drinking the sour, he will feel, you know, very more painful.
So there are two different kind of interpretation. So Jesus received drink twice. Right before his crucifixion, they gave him the wine vinegar, and that was usually offered to help them forget about pain, relieve pain. But Jesus refused. And this one is a second offer. So two interpretation. One is like yours, that it will make Jesus remain alive longer, so he can suffer more. That's one theory. Another theory is he showed compassion to Jesus, so he offered, and that offer Jesus gained little strength, and he could speak two more. It is finished, and then to thy hand I give my spirit. So there was two.
Two different.
So we really don't know if this wine vinegar will give as a means of to extend his suffering, or to can give out of compassion. But I chose it. I chose it because you read the next sentence. They said, "Don't do it. Let us see."
Now leave him alone.
Yeah, leave him alone.
Yeah.
So you know.
That's contrary.
Right. So I chose that one. Okay. Thank you. Question 5.
Jesus died on the cross. Look at the dead body of Jesus. What do you feel? Why did Jesus say about his own death while he was alive?
Now, with a loud cry, Jesus breathed his last. He died. So your imagination, look at the dead body of Jesus on the cross. What do you feel?
Sorrow.
Right now.
Right now? Sorry. I don't know.
Usually, Christians are so used to Jesus on the cross. It's granted. It's granted. It's supposed to be there. He's supposed to die on the cross. So hardly we have any feeling. Hardly any feeling. And this really, I mean, I saw some dog. He saved the family, and then dog died. And in the news media, the dog is so praised and remembered. Even they make the dog status to, because the dog sacrificed his life to save others.
I can't.
Jesus sacrificed his life and here died on the cross. His whole body, life was sacrificial lamb, dying in here, but no feelings, no feelings. And this really require individual meditation.
I used to sit before the cross for half an hour, singing something. I feel very, very thankful at that time. I feel because of him, I was born.
Yeah.
Because of him. Yeah, not because of my parents, only because of him.
Amen. So, what did Jesus say about
Death?
about his death when he was alive?
This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins.
Yeah. He offered his life, his body,
Blood.
for the forgiveness of our sins. So he became a sacrificial lamb. In Israel, they killed the lamb and then put it on the altar. So dead Jesus he was offered on the altar as a sacrifice. But when Israel people offered the animal for the sin offering, first they put their hand, they bring the animal to the temple and put their hand on the head of the animal, like a lamb or goat, and they confess their sin. When they confess their sin move from me to the animal. So now I am without sin, and my sin went to the animal. So now animal became sinful animal. So that animal must die, because the wages of sin is death. When animal die, the person own hand must kill the animal. Kill the animal. So innocent animal tied up, trying to avoid the knife, struggle, but kill until animal dead. Then priest take over to take the blood from the animal. So my hand kill. So it is very painful experience. that you know the animal is dying in my hand because of my sin. So Jesus is the same. We give my sin on Jesus on the cross, and then it is my hand that crucified Jesus. It is my hand. And then Jesus died. Then the other people see the dead animal on the altar. Oh, it's another sacrifice. But the person who transferred the sin, the person who killed the animal, have a really personal feelings, pain. Oh, because of me, you are dying. Yeah. So unless we give our sin to Jesus, we don't have that feeling. We don't have that feeling. But when we give my sin to Jesus, we have the feeling. We have the feeling. This is really require, personal meditation. So before I came to this Bible study, I was thinking of my sin, and then, how Jesus is my sacrificial lamb. His cross is the altar. Jesus offered his life on the altar. Question 6.
When Jesus died, what happened to the curtain of the temple? 38. The curtain of the temple was torn into two from the top to bottom.
Yeah, from the top to bottom. Oh, what kind of a curtain is that?
Only high priest can enter.
Holy.
So
Yeah, holy of the holy.
it is the if it is the temple, then this is the east side, the west side. This is the sunrise, but temple it is toward the west side. So here it is the entrance. Here is the entrance. Then here is the curtain. This is the holy place. And then this is the most holy or holy holies. The most holy place or the holy of the holies. Extreme holy. And there is a ark. This is the ark. So this is divide. Priest. Here is incense altar. Here is a bread table. Here is the lamp.
Lampstand.
Lampstand. This is the most holy place because God come down and then stay here. This is God's place, God's residence, God's room. There's a curtain is here, and then only once a year, high priest can enter here once a year, and then he enter here. First he enter. When he enter, he carry two things. He enter with incense and with blood. Two things. he goes in. He maybe goes inside through here or incense and blood. First he blood for his own sin. And then second time for the sins of the nation, sins of Israel. So it's twice. What happens if someone else enter here?
Die.
Immediately die. This is the line. Because if anybody see God's face, they die. And then if the holy, because God is so holy, and then we are so simple, so we immediately die. So this curtain was torn into two. So I really don't know. Curtain will put in the shower curtain or in the window. We put curtain. We put curtain and like this, right? Right? Like this. But this is not like that. This is not like that. Okay, so it's torn in two from top to bottom. Is it natural phenomenon or supernatural?
Supernatural.
Why?
Very supernatural.
Why? Are you sure? Why are you saying it's a supernatural?
The curtain should have really high quality.
You cannot turn.
Yeah.
Top to bottom.
Okay. So this curtain thickness, how thick it is? Guess what? How thick it is?
6 inch.
Yeah.
This guy.
Okay. I heard the thickness is somewhere 4 to 6 inches.
Wow, you are so heavy.
So some articles say it's 4 inches. And then the Hebrews, Jewish, the old record say it is a thickness of man. Okay. That was a thickness of man. How many inches?
Yeah, probably like 5.
5 inches?
No, 2.
2 inches? No.
Is
About
this-
1.5 inches.
This one is 1 inch, right? At the time.
No.
No. That's
1
not-
inch. Our inch.
Oh, our
Our
inch.
inch. So maybe 1.5. 1.5 men's. That's what they said. The Jewish old writing. It says the men's. I just write as it is. Men's hand thickness and thickness, and then that's so thick. And then it takes 300 priests to carry. So Bible doesn't say the thickness, because they didn't know. After 2,000 years later on, we will try to find out the thickness. But this is the old Jewish writing. The thickness is man's hand. 300 priests had to carry, and then two horses tied up, pulled from both sides. It still doesn't tear. That's so strong and hard, and it's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. The color was like a blue, scarlet. What is another one? Purple. And it is so beautiful. And they had the angel. What was the angel? Two name angel, Seraphim and another one.
Cherubim.
Cherub.
Cherubim.
Cherubim and then
Seraphim.
that's the same thing. Cherubim, seraphim. Yeah, cherubim. That angel is embroidered in here, in the curtain. So it is so beautiful, so thick. And then, which direction it was torn?
From
From
top
top to
to
bottom.
From the top to
Bottom.
bottom. It's impossible. Even two horses pulling from both sides cannot tear it.
Mm.
It's impossible to tear like that.
Mm.
And then from
top to
it was like a height. Actually, it is 60 feet long, 6 feet long, but it is like folded over like this. But how can this?
separate immediately.
It is the almighty hand of God. Mhm. It is the almighty hand of God. Amazing is what does it signify?
You don't need the curtain.
Yeah, the curtain is no more. God opened it, so curtain is gone. Everybody can enter
Mm.
the holy
Wow.
place, the most holy place. Everybody can enter. God opened it.
So Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So remember, high priest when he entered, he carried what?
Incense and blood.
Incense and blood. So we can go before God through the blood of Jesus.
Mm.
Through the blood of Jesus. No matter what kind of sin it is, we have. Through the blood of Jesus, and we go through prayer. Incense is our prayer. Prayer, and with the blood of Jesus, we go to we enter ourselves the most holy place and have a fellowship with God. This is, I think, the most privilege Jesus brought to us. The most privilege. The privilege, we have to use it. If we don't use it, what?
We lose it.
We don't know, right?
Yeah.
I had a health insurance last year, December 1st. So for 7-8 months, I had a health insurance. I didn't use it. And then just a couple of weeks ago, I went to doctor, and then, my goodness, the bill was $5,500. I paid $25, insurance paid it all. And then I went to dentist, and I had the teeth cleaning. I don't know how much it is. I paid $20, and then the rest paid up. And I said, oh, I'm so stupid. I had this insurance since last year. I should have used, but I didn't use it. You know?
Because I was blind.
Blindness.
The same. The curtain was removed. Now we can go to God. We can enter the most holy place. Because Jesus brought this to us. We can enter. But if you don't use it, you don't know. You don't get benefit. You have to use it. You have to go to the holy place with the incense and blood. With Jesus' blood and with your prayers, and have a fellowship with God. I really didn't use this benefit in my Christian life. But I pray today, Lord, now, now I really want to use this benefit. I really want to enter this holy place and have a fellowship with God. So when the curtain was torn, it abolished all the temple system. All the temple system is not effective anymore. It is now through Jesus cross and death. So as a matter of fact, the temple was no use. So after 40 years, it is completely destroyed. Question 7.
Why was the Roman soldier centurion in front of the cross of Jesus? John stood there in front of Jesus, heard his cry, and saw how he died. He said, "Surely this man was the Son of God."
Yeah. The centurion is a Roman soldier. He is in charge of
For the crucifixion, execution.
yeah, but centurion means
100
he's in
soldiers.
charge of 100 soldiers. He's in charge of over 100 soldiers. So he's a centurion. He has really had the power and authority, right? Why he was in front of a cross of Jesus? He was responsible. It was his job.
He wanted to check whether he died or.
Right. He made sure the execution is done, and then all the
Nothing important there.
all the criminals dead, and then everything legally he had to carry on his job. So because of that, he supervised the execution, and then at that time in Roman law, if the prisoner criminal escaped, and then they died instead. The soldiers, they died instead. So it is very, very heavy responsibility. He came in supervised that day. Two robbers and king of Jews were executed on the cross. So he makes sure all the soldiers do their job and then properly, and make sure all of them die through crucifixion. So he was there. Question, the second question.
What did he hear from Jesus on the cross?
So he was very close. He constantly checked 3 criminals on the cross. What did he hear?
Maybe he heard God forgive them. They don't know what they are doing.
Yeah, this the King of Jews, Jesus, praying for his soldiers. His soldiers crucifying Jesus. He prayed for his soldiers, forgive them. Others.
I'm finished.
Huh?
Also, the asking the John to his mother.
Oh, he took care of his mom. Others.
So, it's finished.
Yeah. He said that it is finished.
Also, saved one of the robber.
Oh, yes. He saved. It's amazing. He saved one robber. And then what else Jesus did? I am thirsty. And then we have today, my God, why have you forsaken me? And then another one, give my spirit in thy hand. never heard, never seen any criminal on the cross saying this. What did he see? This is what he heard. What did he see?
He confessed that sure this man was the Son of God.
Yeah.
So,
What do you think? When the darkness will cover the 3 hours? What do you think in the centurion in his mind?
something
Yeah, something's wrong.
fear.
Fear,
Mhm.
fear.
Fear of killing innocent men. So it's like God is punishing us with all
Yeah,
the darkness.
hmm And
Everybody is crazy, like they are shouting, insulting, and then that kind of situation. Jesus was praying. Yeah.
and then I don't know. It is so dark. He is responsible to execute 3 criminals. Maybe if it goes bail, in darkness. Yeah. And there was earthquake. I think is if you are not responsible, you may not be. But he is in charge. He is responsible. But in all this darkness and earthquake, I think he is really concerned about it. When there was at night, it was the raining and the lightning and thunder.
We were so scared.
I was so scared. I was so scared. I heard some sound outside. I couldn't go out to check what it is because I was so scared. Because, the centurion, when he saw, I think he had some terrifying experience in his heart. So, what was his confession?
Surely this man was the Son of God.
He confessed, surely this
Jesus
man was
the
the Son of
Son of
God. He became a believer. The thing is, nobody evangelized him. Nobody told him. By himself, he became a believer. By watching it, seeing it, he became a believer of Jesus. By himself. Jesus' cross is so glorious. When you watch it, listen carefully, you know Jesus is the Son of God, Savior. So another person was receiving Jesus, the centurion. Now, why was he not blind and deaf like the religious people who ridicule Jesus? Here is the Roman soldier centurion. Here is the Israel religious people. Okay, let's see. Did they see different thing? Did they see?
Saying same thing.
He saw. They saw. He heard. They heard. And why they couldn't see? Why he saw? The same. And he was a pagan. Gentile. And they were
Jewish.
God's people. I would say religious people. Religious people. And he believed by himself because he saw, he heard from Jesus all by himself. Actually, his knowledge about Jesus is
Very short.
short. 6 hours. Here, they study Bible all their life. Study and teach all their life. And then they ridiculed Jesus. So, what's the problem? What is the problem? And they ridiculed Jesus. Until now, they've been mocking and ridiculing Jesus until now. From that time on until now, 2,000 years. Okay, continuously. I have a few Jewish, I met some few Jewish people. They still ridicule Jesus. They still mock Jesus. So what happened? It is a matter of heart. Their heart is
Not humble.
not humble.
Not pure.
They got blinded by the lots of their own thoughts and their own
Jealousy.
greed. Yeah, it's a matter of heart. Their heart is, in spite of all this religious training and all this worship, and their heart is dark. Their heart is dark, simple. They have a simple heart. He has a heart, pure heart, pure heart, pure heart. They have dark heart. So when their heart is dark, even though Jesus was right in front of their eye, they did not recognize, they did not see, they did not hear. Pure heart. I chose the Gospel Matthew, chapter 5, verse 8. Can somebody read it?
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God.
They will see God. Even though Roman soldier, he was pagan, Bible study, no Bible study, only very short time he saw Jesus. His heart is pure, so he could see God. He could see God. Okay. Question 8.
Where were these women come from?
Galilee.
Yeah, these women came from Galilee. What are their names?
Mary,
Mary Magdalene, Mary,
Mary,
the younger James, the younger James,
And Salome.
Salome,
And there are other women. And they came from Galilee. Why were they watching Jesus from a distance? Here is Golgotha. Maybe Jesus was here, here. And then people were here. But these women far away. And then they stood here. They watching Jesus from far away.
They prohibit the woman to come.
Eh?
They prohibit the woman to come to the.
No, Jesus' mother was under the cross. Mm-hmm.
Also, then they cannot bear to see Jesus.
Yeah, probably. I mean, these are country women. They came from Galilee. I grew up in the countryside. When I go to the capital city, I feel like a very inferior, and then I feel myself so small. But they came from country, Galilee, despised the district. And it's all execution is carried on here. And they were just watching from far away, was just watching it standing there. They are very helpless. What can they do? Nothing. There is nothing they can do. Helpless. And they are women, weak. They served Jesus with, the need or food or like that. But in this situation, there is nothing they can do.
Also, Christian got hurt, the head,
Mm-hmm.
and then the doctor said she need a stitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said they are not gonna do anesthesia on her.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna do it so blood comes out.
Uh-huh.
So I couldn't see.
Oh.
So I went outside.
Oh.
And then
okay.
because 5 or 6 people is holding her,
Uh-huh.
and then I couldn't see her, screaming, and then all the way blood comes out.
Uh-huh. So I could faint hard. Huh? Faint hard. Yeah, that's a really good experience. This woman had two faint heart. They can endure. They can endure closely. They could watch. How long do you think they stand there?
same, 6 hours.
Okay, let's read the Gospel Luke chapter 23, verse 48, 49. Luke chapter 23, verse 48, 49.
When all the people who had gathered to witness this sight saw what took place, they beat their priests and went away. But all those who knew him, including the women who had followed him from Galilee, stood at a distance, watching these things.
Yeah. So when Jesus died, there was, a lot of Jews here trying to make fun of Jesus, and then when Jesus died, it's over. So except the soldiers, they all went home. it's over. So they all went home. And then there are few soldiers left. Did they go home?
No.
Even though Jesus died, even though all went home, they didn't go home. They stayed. They stayed
At least 6 hours.
at least 6 hours standing there. This was the God using them. God was using them as resurrection witness. Just being there. Just being there. How can Jesus that died on the cross, how can they go home? They couldn't go home. So they stayed there, even though everybody went home, they stayed there. Maybe, and that kind of a heart, God used.
Also,
We don't.
Also, they check the burial site.
Yeah, that's what they follow. We don't have to be powerful, have a great ability or big sacrifice. They cannot do anything in this situation. Nothing they can do. But they just couldn't leave dead Jesus, stayed on, far away. That God used them. God used them preciously. It's amazing. Anybody, we stick to Jesus, God uses us. Anybody, stay with Jesus. Stay with Jesus. Then God will use. Not your ability, but your heart. God will use your heart. Okay, today's Bible study is up to here, and then we will have a sharing.
We don't go number 9 today.
Oh.
It's a sharing topic. Right?
Yeah.